Hello everyone and welcome to the Tank Club. Today I wanted to have a little look at the downfall of the New World MMO and take a closer look at its turbulent journey over the last couple of years. Since its launch in September 2021, New World captured the attention of MMORPG enthusiasts and top content creators alike, boasting close to 1 million eager players at its peak. This initial surge, however, masked underlying issues that would surface and significantly impact its trajectory. The game's launch was marred with excessive queue times, attributed not just to its popularity, but also to server capacities being overwhelmed. This was largely exacerbated when specific servers became hotspots due to endorsements by popular MMO creators, leading to frustration among players who face long wait times and server instability, with players being kicked from the game and sent straight to the back of the queue. Amazon Games' response was swift, with attempts to add more servers. However, the damage was done. The game's launch had not fully anticipated the demand, despite significant hype and advertisement. This oversight was the first of several missteps. Shortly after release, a myriad of bugs and exploits emerged, including a notable exploit where players could manipulate the client in windowed mode to gain gold and duplicate items, along with various bugs existing with the trade post. Despite patches and temporary solutions, these issues reoccurred, undermining the game's economy and fairness. The influx of illegitimately acquired items and gold, which remained in circulation, gave an unfair advantage to some players, and many of those responsible completely evaded punishment, which soured the experience for many of the fair players. Despite these challenges, New World still maintained a semblance of a healthy player base, with numbers that any MMORPG would find respectable. Yet it wasn't the technical issues alone that led to the decline in player engagement. The game initially offered an engaging experience with active combat, exciting PvP wars, comprehensive crafting, and stunning visuals. However, as players progressed, the lack of content became apparent. For many, including myself with around 1,000 hours played, New World simply feels forgettable. There was a noticeable absence of excitement, attachment, incentive, and reason to log into the game, with the journey offering more enjoyment than the destination due to scant endgame content. I last played New World and completed an M3 Barnacles, and then just didn't even think about the game again until months later when I realised that I hadn't played it. Amazon Games has made efforts to revitalise interest with updates, new expeditions, and vast new zones such as the Brimstone Sands and Rise of Angry Earth. These updates were well received, adding much needed content and improvements to New World. The beginner experience of the game has been significantly improved and updated, and the story has been developed with added lore. Nevertheless, the slow pace of significant updates and the initial lack of engaging lore and storylines has left many players disinterested. I personally have no interest in going back and starting the game again just to experience the updated story and try to follow the lore in hope that it will make me enjoy the game more because I gain that attachment. The endgame content, or lack thereof, is a pivotal issue. Even with the introduction of a raid boss, the Sandworm, and new expeditions, the rewards and incentives to participate are repeatedly lacking. The new raid boss, for example, hasn't even been updated, so they spent a year advertising, promoting, and working on the Sandworm. They released it, and months later they bring out the Rise of the Angry Earth patch, and this content becomes absolutely useless. The stagnant state of PvP modes and wars, coupled with the unaddressed dominance of shell companies, which took far too long to be sorted out, further diminished the competitiveness and the engaging nature of the game's PvP aspects, which were a focal point and a large exciting point at the very start of the game. Outpost Rush hasn't had a new map the entire time it's existed, even though I see players asking for it constantly all the time. Something that you think would be a relatively easy thing to add, just adding a new map to an existing game mode. Communication from the developers has often felt out of touch with the community's desires. There's been many things that have brought up a lot of frustration. A lot of people have quit the game because of things that they've decided to bring out and change and adjust. And also some of the balancing issues just haven't met that player expectation, with slow response to bugs and gameplay issues also playing a major factor. By the time issues are resolved, players have already moved on with a negative perceived image of the game. Now, with resources presumably diverted to the development of a new Lord of the Rings MMO, there's concern over the future investment in New World. With both seasonal battle passes and events providing lackluster rewards, there's rarely any incentive to do them and log into the game, and the events have already turned stale, as many of the events are very similar to one another, and the good events are the same regurgitated events year on year, which happens admittedly in most MMORPGs, but that doesn't make it okay. With new content releases being delayed, bugs and issues not being addressed quickly enough, roadmaps empty and giving players zero excitement for the future of the game, no endgame content or long-term engagement, and developers not appearing to listen to their community. New World stands at a crossroad with a dwindling player base and a community seeking more than just seasonal content updates. As a player who has experienced the highs and lows of this game, it's clear that without a renewed focus on content delivery, player engagement, and community dialogue, the challenges facing New World may well define its legacy. I'd love to know in the comments below what your thoughts are on the current state of the New World MMO. I'd like to know the things you like, the things you dislike, and the reasons why you might have stopped playing. I appreciate you for watching this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.